The National Council of Societies for the Prevention of Cruelty against Animals, that's the NSPCA in South Africa, says there's a massive increase in donkey poaching, with the animals being slaughtered in a very barbaric way. Donkey skin is in demand in China as it's used to produce medicine which is believed to delay menopause. More than 100 donkeys were illegally slaughtered in the Northern Cape and Northwest in the last 3 months alone. Meanwhile, 5,000 donkey hides were discovered in a shack in Benoni here in Gauteng. The NSPCA's Mpho Mokoena says people are using a hammer to hit the donkeys. When they fall down, they don't even wait to see the donkeys dead. They just start skinning it. Now, from the NSPCA, we are joined by Mpho Mokoena. She's the Farm National Protection Unit Inspector. Very good morning to you, and thank you for being with us.
Good morning.
Just give us a quick idea. What's the extent of the problem that we're seeing with donkey poaching and killings here in South Africa right now?
Okay, what is happening at this moment, we're actually receiving complaints in weekly basis, whereby it's extended to the places like KZN. Recently, we actually received a complaint also in KZN, whereby 35 donkeys were actually killed. They were just scattered, their bodies were scattered in the mountain and they were left there. So it's all over, I can say it's all over around the country now.
The main complaint is that, these donkeys are being slaughtered in a very inhumane way. How are these donkeys slaughtered? Can you maybe explain to us?
The way they slaughter them, it's actually depend, because some other places we found, like, for an example, now in KZN, they were using a screwdriver just to slaughter. They didn't even slaughter, they just hit them there at the back, and then after that, they don't cut the throat, they just leave them like that.
And then they take the skin off the donkey?
They take off the skin of the donkey and they leave the carcasses lying there.
I understand that you've been visiting some of these farms. You were in Olifantshoek in the Northern Cape last week. What did you find at this farm that you were visiting?
Okay, in Olifantshoek, what did we find? We went to the farm, and then by the farm actually we found lots and lots of carcasses. There is actually happening in 2 of the farms that one man, he hired those farms. What is happening there is they're using the hammer, hitting them with the hammer, not even cutting the throat. So when we asked the owner, is he happy about what is happening, seeing that there are more than 35 donkeys are being killed in daily basis by his farm. The farmers, he didn't care about it. He said he thought maybe because of it's an animal, it doesn't matter. So the carcasses, they were lying all over around.
Just tell us about the donkeys themselves. What is the thing that's being used and being exported, and how is it, what's the kind of cost with regards to donkeys now?
Okay, what is happening at this moment actually is the skin of the donkey that is in demand, because of, according to the Chinese Newly Daily, it says that they're looking for the skins because they boil it for gelatin, that they use it as medicinal. And
how much can you get? Will they pay for the skin of a full donkey now? Do we have a price? Why?
They do pay, but they pay a little amount to those ones, the owners of the donkeys, because some of the donkeys, they don't pay because of they are still in them. They are still in them. So about the amount, it depends, because some of them, you will hear that they actually paid 600, they actually paid 450.
We see in rural Northwest Province, for instance, that donkeys are the primary mode of transport, and so most of these donkeys that are stolen from individuals, or do we have a whole lot of these donkeys that run free in the rural areas?
What is happening is some of them, they are being still individualists, because you find some of the member of communities, they will be complaining that I had 9 donkeys inside my property where I closed them, but in the morning when I wake up, I found that all my donkeys were gone. I only found the carcasses next to the river. It's where I found the carcasses. I don't know what happened.
So people, they don't eat the donkeys at all, locally?
In one case that actually happened in Northwest, we found one donkey whereby the whole 4 legs were cut off. So we don't know that are they eating it or what is it happening. But in the case whereby in Northern Cape, in Olifantshoek, our suspect actually admitted that he slaughtered them, and then what he does is he will be taking meat to Kimberley. From Kimberley, that meat is coming to Johannesburg. So for the first time when he started to slaughter, he was not taking the meat. But recently when we found him, he was taking the meat because even in his house, he had a big cooler that he kept it outside where he was storing the meat, even inside the house.
Do we have a crisis in South Africa, a national crisis?
Yes, we do. We do have a crisis in South Africa because like now, donkeys are animals that are being targeted. They are being targeted because of the way they've been killed. They are not being killed humanely. So we found that the authorities, the government and the police, even if they are reporting the matter, they are doing nothing.
Well, I thank you for joining us today. That's the Farm National Protection Unit Inspector Mpho Mokoena talking to us about, well, the plight of donkeys here in South Africa and, well, they're being exported. Some say that in the Chinese market, a donkey's skin could fetch up to 7,000 Rand, and that's why it's so popular now. Of course, we're asking you a question. Would you